Hello, I'm here with Sister Edna Hamby. She's invited me into her home. Thank you very much for doing that. Today is Tuesday, December the 20th, 2011, and we're going to show this video at church tomorrow night, Wednesday night at Edgewood Assembly of God. And I've asked Sister Hamby if she would read for us a poem called The Night Before Christmas, and I think we're ready to get started. You ready?
If I can read. 'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children was nestled all snug in their beds, while bees of sugar plums danced in their heads, and Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clutter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash. I tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon over the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday up to objects below, when, what to my wondering eyes should appear, but a miniature sleigh and 890 reindeer. With the little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles in his courses, they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dick, Dancer, now Prancer, now Vixen, oh Comet, oh Cupid, oh no, Donna and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As jollies before the wild hurricanes fly, when they meet with an obstacle meant to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and I was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came. Okay. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his skirt, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler, not just opening his pack. His eyes how they twinkled, his dimples how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the breast of his chin was as white as snow. The stump of the pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke circled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jelly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings and turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team he gave a whistle, and they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard them exclaim, "Oh, he drove out of sight. Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Thank you very much. I just really like traditions, and that's a traditional story.
Yeah, it is.
And memories, you know, that of Christmases and days gone by. One of my fondest memories, and what I remember the most about the Hamby family, is when we first moved into the sanctuary that we're in now. We kind of all had our little pocket back there in the corner. Sandra and I sat on the back, and the Hambys were about 3 rows in front of us. And when all of y'all showed up on the same Sunday, you took more than one pew. And Perrine sat in between where you were sitting and we were sitting. I miss Perrine. But thank you again for reading that for us. I was wondering, while we've got you on the camera, if there are any Hamby family traditions or stories, just things that maybe you did around the Christmas time or that comes to your mind that you might could share with us.
Doc, can you think of anything unusual?
Unusual?
You know, we all gathered around the tree and we opened one gift on Christmas Eve. And then the Christmas morning, then we opened the rest of them.
Yeah, we did that at our house
You
too.
did that too?
I guess that's a southern thing.
Yeah, I think everybody does
Yeah,
that.
it is.
So we enjoy Christmas. We miss Daddy so much, you know.
Oh, you know, I wanted to tell you that probably the best honor that anyone could ever give me is to ask me to participate in the homegoing service of their loved one. And I can't remember if I played or sang, but I did something at Brother Hamby's funeral. I think I did both, actually.
But you did.
probably did.
But I can't remember, so thank you for
It's so
asking me to be a
long.
part of that. That really is probably the best compliment you can ever give someone, is to ask them to participate in that service. And
Been about 16 years, hasn't it?
you know what? I don't know when it was. I
97.
remember it was in the new church. We were,
97.
yeah.
It was fun. Seemed like yesterday, though, you know, we missed him so much.
Well, again, thank you for doing this for me.
I'm glad you could come.
You're going to be the movie star tomorrow night at church.
There you
So
go.
I think we're probably ready to turn the camera off and.
Turn it off, man. You know how to do it.
First of all, thank you, Pastor Hayes, for asking me to put together something for tonight's service. I'm at my house, and I have some friends with me that I love dearly, and I think you're going to enjoy what we're going to do here in just a minute. I have Juanita from church, I guess. That's where I would say I know Juanita from.
Mm-hmm.
We've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
And I have Nell Pate and not yet. Kathy Brock is filming, and she's asking me to direct her. And Ruby Salter and Millie Brock. And then Kathy Brock is going to read to you. And then later on, I have a couple of more folks that I'm going to introduce to you, and they have some things to say as well. So we're going to get started, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to listen to our special guest read "'Twas the Night
Before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The hedges were hung, the stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while videos of sugar plums danced in their heads, and Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap, when all at once along there arose a chatter. I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter.
Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the brush of the new fallen snow gave the lust of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver, so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now, Dasher, Prancer, and Vixen.
On Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the house top the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came.
He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath.
He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his fingers aside his nose and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a
A few
good
years
night."
ago, between Philip Sheehan as the choir director and I forget that guy's name that came after him, Scott. Pastor Hayes asked me to fill in, and it was at Christmas time, and we just kind of threw something together at the last minute, and we sat around on the platform and sang Christmas carols, and we had furniture. We put furniture up there, and each of us who I could talk into telling a story told a story. Now, you told a story about when you and Bo either were just first married, or you may have still been dating. I can't remember. But it's the one I reminded you of the other night. Would you tell that story?
Well, it was back in 1938, the Depression. We were married. He didn't have a regular job. We were told to move to Tampa, and they would get, his kinfolks would get him on the railroad. They never did, so he started working, trying to get a job at Bruce Juices and Del Monte and all that. You've seen these advertising the juice and pineapple, and not pineapple, but grapefruit. Anyway, Christmas came. We had no money. We had $1 between us. We were renting a one-room and with a little small kitchen for $2.50 a week. He had $1. He gave me 50 cents of it to get him something, and he got me something with 50 cents. I don't remember till this day what he gave me, but I remember what I gave him. A shaving rug and the brush in it. And I had a few cents left over, and I came across the counter that had pretzels on the counter. And I had never tasted the pretzels, but they looked so good. So I snuck a bag of them and had enough money to pay for them. I was very disappointed because they were not as good as I thought they would looked. So I learned later that most everybody ate those when they were drinking beer. That was not what I was looking for. So I was very disappointed in it. But that got our $1 between us that year.
Thank you. So Ruby, do you have any special Christmas memories you can share with us?
Not really. Christmas wishes.
Do you have anything you want to say to the folks at Edgewood Assembly of God?
I've enjoyed some mighty wonderful experiences over there. And it's well known, I've had several people within the last week or so, when I'd be talking about coming over here and doing this, they'd say, "Well, what church do you belong to?" And I'd tell them, and they let me know immediately. They knew where it was, and most of the time they knew the pastor. They said he was a very nice fellow and a wonderful
Preacher.
crowd of beautiful people. When the Lord came and met with them, and they enjoyed